What's up, everyone? All right, well, today is day 25 in the small account and another awesome day. Today, the account's up 25%. I'm up $2,500. I started with about $10,000 in the account this morning. So go back to day one. Back on day one of the small account challenge, I started with about $4,313, something like that. And I said I would do this challenge with no leverage. So from day one through day 24, I was making slow progress from 4,300 up to 8,000. And then on day 24, I made over $2,000. So day 24 was huge. The account then went from 8,000 to over 10,000. And here, day 25, another huge day. The account's just gone from 10,000 to 12,500. That's impressive. So two really big days back to back. Essentially, the account in 2 days is up 50%. That's phenomenal. The market's high. We've gotten some great opportunities, and we got some good ones again today. So I hope you guys enjoy the recap. As always, in case you didn't already know, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money, and my results are not typical. You should assume, therefore, that you will lose. And with that assumption in mind, trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. Because these stocks, these are wild stocks. They move really, really fast. In a matter of seconds, minutes, I mean, it can happen so quickly that a trade goes from big green to big red. So you've got to learn how to trade, and the best way to do it is to practice a simulator. I hope you enjoy the recap here today for day 25, up 25%, up $2,500, 3 25s, and 25 is my favorite number. So this is a good day. I hope you guys enjoy the recap, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow for day 26. All right, everyone. So I'm going to break down the trades from today, day 25 in the small account, up $2,543.26, all on SNOA. It was our second leading gapper this morning, as you can see. The leading gapper was SUNN, SONN. However, the leading gapper was below the volume weighted average price at the open. Actually, it squeezed up pretty nicely from 160 up to 207. You know, the fact is, on something like that, I could have bought like 8,000 shares. And, you know, on a move from 175 to 195, I could have made $1,600, and then up to 210. Well, so, you know, that would have been a good one. But there was no way I would have known that that was going to happen based on its pre-market pattern, which was it was selling off. It was below the VWAP. SNOA was the second leading gapper, but was the leading gapper that was looking good. And strong pre-market. I mean, just grinding higher. It pulled back a couple times here and there, but generally it was just really strong. So I traded it through these areas here, with my first trade being right in this area. This is my first trade. I did not have the courage to take the bounce off the volume weighted average price. I saw it and I was tempted, but I wasn't sure, because at that point, you know, of course, this was what we had just had, this kind of larger red candle, and it was a bigger pullback than a bull flag, but it ended up ripping right back up through the high of 1028. And then we had this period of like half an hour of consolidation around 1035, under 1035. And in this area, I was doing pretty well buying dips and selling near the top of the range, and then adding back as it would pull back, and then selling again near the top of the range. And then finally, we got to break through that top of 1036, and it was a nice quick break, and we got the squeeze higher. Let's look at the 1 minute chart so we can see it in a little bit more detail. So on the 1 minute chart, this was the pullback to VWAP right here. Almost perfect tap of VWAP. Then at 8 a.m., you know, all those orders go through, and then we got that. Oh, sorry. So we did get, this was actually the one I meant. This was the first pullback to the VWAP. Then we got that break at 8 a.m., squeezed up, and then it pulled back. And then right in here was where we got that nice move. So squeeze back through 960, back through the high here, which was 979. And that did line up with the daily resistance level. So on the daily chart, this is a stock that I was a little unsure about. It's got a history of red candles. However, it also is volatile. And so within that volatility is opportunity. The break of 10.07 was critical, as you can see right there. But what was also critical was 9.73 and then 9.89. And so it finally broke through those levels and then broke through. It was actually 10.09, not 10.07. And then that gave us room with no resistance up to 15. So we did have a big window there that we obviously cut pretty nicely into with a high today right now of 13.36. So a nice dip there off the VWAP. Didn't take the dip off the VWAP, but bought as it was squeezing higher. And then we got some just general good pullbacks. Pullback, pop up. Another pullback, a pop back up. So first candle to make a new high was right there. Another first candle to make a new high was right here. Another first candle to make a new high was right in here. It did pull back. Then we had a double bottom off of 960. Pops back up. We get a break through that level, a pullback, and then a fantastic squeeze right here. It dips down, does a little bit of a bear trap, and then rips back up here all the way to 11. Hits a high of 1095, drops, dip trade off the low of 1015, squeezes back through 11, and that trade. So I was holding at 1098 going into the open. Going into the open, I was holding at 1098, and look at that squeeze, straight up to 1241, right up to a halt. It opens, it dips, does a pullback, a panic flush, then it rips up a little bit higher, does a just very dramatic false breakout here, a 2.2 whip. I mean, just wild, and then pulls back and is now below VWAP. So I stopped trading it right here. This is where I stopped right there. That was, I didn't trade anything beyond that. And beyond that was actually in this area was, the last trade was in my big account. So my final exit was 12.20 there, which was good. So did an add back and sold at 12.20. Did an add back at 11.38, sold at 11.60. So quick little trades as it was squeezing higher, just trying to add a little bit more profit. But generally, the stock respected pretty much all the patterns that I trade. These are the same patterns I teach in the Warrior Pro classes. Buying first candle to make a new high, buying the pullback, ABCD patterns. We had a really good respect on ascending support lines on the 10-second chart right through here. So first we were respecting this ascending line through this area quite well. It then pulls back, kind of holds that level, then comes right up to it, can't break it. Then it rips through it, hesitates for a moment, then rips through it at the open, bounces off of it, bounces off it a couple more times, breaks below it, back above it, back below it, and then now it's below it. So really pretty clean technical trading stock. I was impressed. And I did well on it in the small account. I did well on it in my main account. So, you know, green is good. And I'm very happy with the progress here. So in 2 days, the account's up 50%. I had, at the beginning of the week, $8,000 in the account. Actually, it was a little less than that. But, you know, somewhere around there. And now the account's going to have $12,500. My starting balance today was $10,189. So the account's up right around 25%. It's up 2,500. Today's the 25th day of the small account challenge. And my favorite number is 25. So it's the 25 trifecta today. Everything came together here on day 25. Grateful, very grateful. So as always, you know this, but I'll say it again, trading is risky. Most beginner traders do lose money. So you should assume as a beginner that you will lose. And with that assumption, trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. But today was, for me, a solid day. Very happy with that. And, you know, the fact is, I have $60,000 in buying power. I'm not using it. I had my account, I specifically asked them to disable it. So right now, with $60,000 in buying power, I should be able to buy easily a 4,000 share position on SNOA, right? So let's put it in at 10. Nope, it's not gonna let it go through because it would exceed my account's margin. I asked them to restrict it to cash balance only. So I am able to trade as much as I'd like. I can trade 5 times a day. I can trade 100 times, whatever you want. But I can't use my leverage. And I haven't been using my leverage since I started this new small account challenge with about $4,300. And for sure, the first 23 days were generally pretty slow. And I had a couple bigger red days in there. I had a $600 loss last week, which is a little disappointing, but certainly made it back. And I'm now at new highs in the account at $12,500 just about, or somewhere around there. So this is definitely, I'm definitely making some good progress here. And with the account getting a little bit bigger, I can start taking slightly larger share size. Today, when this was under $10, I was buying 1,000 shares of each trade. As it broke over $10, I started trading with 400 and doubling to 800 shares. Had a couple 900 shares in there when I could afford it, but yeah, I traded it pretty aggressively, which has been how I've traded this whole challenge, using pretty much all of the cash that I have available for each trade. But remember, I'm not going to hold a stock until it goes to zero. If it goes down, I'll cut the loss. And I did have 2 losers today. I had 2 losers. The first one was getting in at 1060 and stopping at 1048. So a 12-cent loss on 900 shares. So like $100. And I had another loss. Can't remember the other one, but it was a little bit smaller. So anyways, I did have two losers today, but I also had some great winners. So finishing the day in the green, and I am not going to overstay my welcome. It's 10:12, and I'm shutting it down for the day. I'll be back tomorrow for day 26.
And that right there was an entire video with no ads. I don't monetize my YouTube channel with video ads, which means you guys get to enjoy the content. But do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and let YouTube know that this channel is the channel to watch if you want to learn about day trading.